Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Vanta, and welcome back for another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Films. And today, I have some friends with me. Woo! Yup. I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourself, and then your name, your show, and stuff like that, because you guys are all UIC radio. Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah. Okay, what's up, lovelies? It's your Midwest sweetheart here. I'm on Mondays from 2 to 3, so definitely tune in if you're into like indie, alt music, punk rock. I play everything.
Period.
Oh, wait, you can go if you want.
No, you first.
I mean, we're going around this way. I feel like.
Sorry, I'm a little shy, but my name's Mariana. I'm the host for Servant Tunes Radio. I play different genres and themes every Friday from 2 to 3. And next week is Trip Hop.
Ooh, period.
Sick. My name is Thomas. Let me put my face in this. My name's Thomas. I do Thomas's Classic 10s every Monday from 5 to 6. And it's all 2010s music. The greatest hits, the deep cuts, everything. All genres, all artists, no limits. As long as it's from 2020 or 2010 to 2019. That's the only limit. But it's awesome. You should all listen.
Yeah, exactly. You guys should all listen to all of these three lovely people right here, and also me. But today we are going to be talking about Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm just gonna start off by saying I have been on a Marvel kind of like hiatus. Like I kind of stopped watching after Endgame. But then I quite literally grew up with Marvel. But like not the comics, because I feel like people kind of get mixed up with Marvel and Marvel Cinematic Universe, because MCU is clearly like for the big screen, Marvel is more comics and all of that stuff. So I just want to get your guys' opinion on like what your guys' experience with like the MCU or with Marvel first, because we had this conversation during like the retreat earlier. So yeah, just want to see how you guys feel about it, especially like growing up and everything like that.
Okay, I can go first actually. So my dad is a really big comic book nerd. So I was kind of raised on like everything from DC to Marvel to Lord of the Rings to Star Wars. Like I was all in it, and that's what I grew up with. And we were talking about, shout out to First Aid Comics right here on Taylor Street.
Yep.
If you're at UIC and you like comics, definitely go there. I like Vontae, I stopped watching the MCU after a certain point. I think I watched Scattered after Endgame, but I really stopped after the Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That one did it for me. Like how, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah. Thomas, Mariana.
Oh, okay. My name's Thomas, and I think for me, Marvel, similar to what Izzy said. Actually, my folks were really into it. It's kind of a funny story. My dad works for Audi, and they had a partnership with Marvel in the first Iron Man movie. Because remember RDJ, he drives a R8 in that movie. He has like all sorts of gadgets in it, and they gave everybody who worked at my dad's dealership free tickets to see Iron Man. So like 2008, I was 4 years old. I still have memories of being in the theater seeing the first Iron Man. Which is kind of crazy to think about, you taking your like 3-year-old to see that, but so from then on, I feel like MCU, I was really like imprinted on it from a really young age, and I grew up to like it. Some might even say love it. Watch the older ones like as it got on. I think it peaked around Thor Ragnarok, but maybe that's just because I'm a big Taika Waititi fan. I really like that film and some of his earlier stuff, like What We Do in the Shadows, but that's besides the point. But I think similar to what Izzy said, I kind of lost track of it a little after Endgame. I stayed on for like the COVID, like WandaVision, like the first like wave of TV shows, and then I even stayed on for that terrible Doctor Strange movie, but they really lost me with Eternals. After that, I was like, okay, I'm kind of done. They almost won me back with Shang-Chi, though. I really liked that movie.
Yeah.
That was a good one. But Eternals was rough.
Okay,
It's like 3 hours for nothing.
I see why a lot of people would not like Eternals, but personally for me, I have a very different opinion about that. But we can touch upon that a little bit later. Mariana, do you want to share anything about?
I actually really like the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah.
I think, well, then again, because like I didn't really grow up watching Marvel movies like that, so I wasn't like I guess I just didn't have any info on it or context. But I really like the scene where you could see like the music notes coming out and he's like battling it. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was cool
I'll admit,
too,
That was
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, my only problem with that film is that it literally in the title was like multiverse of madness, and then we're shown like 3 main universes, and that is it. Because I remember, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once came out before that. Right,
Oh,
and
that
so
one was good.
it's such a great movie. It depicts multiverse so well, and because of that, I kind of have very high expectation of what Marvel is gonna do with that concept. But yeah, I honestly had very high expectation for that. But that's just me. And for like Eternals, I feel like it has such a great cast. All of the actor and actress was amazing. I mean, it was directed by Chloe Zhao, who just won an Oscar before that. Cinematography wise, it was amazing. But then like, I feel like a lot of the reason why people don't like it is because they weren't introduced earlier. You know, like they were the first sort of like people, quote unquote people that came into Earth, and they, you know, stay for like the entirety of Earth and everything like that. So I feel like that's why a lot of people don't like it. But I really enjoyed it. And then also the reason why I wanted to do this episode like today was because Doomsday just finished wrapping, and it's gonna release I think maybe next year. But then I heard so many controversies about it. Like people say like, oh no, it wrapped too fast. Like they have so many rewrites, and like there's a lot of actors and actresses that haven't been like announced to be in it yet. So I don't know how you guys feel about Doomsday, because I personally have a lot of opinion on that, but I just want to see like where you guys feel on that, because it's supposedly to be the final films before the big Marvel restart. Yeah, do you want to?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I remember when they had the cast reveal at that one. I don't know. It wasn't C2E2. There was like the big event, their big reveal, where they had of the Doomsday and who was gonna play it, and everybody was cheering, but I was so disappointed that it was RDJ. And then people were like, "Oh yeah, it's just because there's a spin-off where he's like something about in a different timeline, that he was part of a different timeline." But I'm not sure how accurate that is. Either way, I'm kind of disappointed. I think, and it's a big problem with like media nowadays, that we just keep on reusing the same big names that we see all the time everywhere.
Right.
And I'm kind of tired of that. Like, we need to bring up people who, like, we need to actually go out and scout people. Like Andrew Sessa, I think that's his name, or Dominic Sessa, I can't believe it's one of the actors, right? He was scouted from a theater school, like a theater college or whatever. Like, we need to bring back unknown actors and rise and build them up from there. Like, I'm tired of seeing the same 5 people in all the films every movie. Yeah.
That reminds me of the meme of like how Chris Pratt's in everything.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
He's in everything. Like, you can't escape the guy.
Or like I think it was kind of funny that you mentioned the video where RDJ was revealed as Doctor Doom, because I think in the background very faintly one of the Russo brother, before he undo the mat, he's like Jared Leto, and I was like, that's so funny, because like Jared Leto is in like almost everything.
We need to stop with Jared Leto. Like, he's got to stop. No one likes that. Like, no one likes his acting. No one likes him as a person.
I was very surprised when I watched Blade Runner or like Fight Club and I see Jared Leto. I'm like, what is he doing here? And then I don't know. I don't think he's like the worst actor in the world, but it's just like I was so surprised that he's in so many of like the iconic films and movies. But yeah, and then speaking of casting unknown actors, I think I just really agree with that, because I don't know if you guys seen Adolescence. Have you?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to
I don't
speak a
think I
little bit
have.
on?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the kid when he gives his
Yeah.
10-minute like monologue. That was really good.
Exactly. And then the kid was I think Owen Cooper, right? The name
Yeah.
of the actor. He was unknown. Quite literally just took a few like theater class, drama class, and then won an Emmy.
Yeah,
like,
that was
hello.
crazy.
That's so crazy to me. And then like he did such an amazing job, and I don't understand people going, well, he just like screams and everything. Like, no. It's like, his entire performance was amazing, and I truly believe that we need to cast more actors and actresses that are not well known, especially when we just talk about the AI
Oh, yeah.
actress
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, I don't know. Like the Doctor Doom situation, like I was also kind of iffy about it, just because like RDJ has done so much for Marvel Universe, right? MCU, Iron Man, that man is MCU's legacy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know if this is gonna be spoiler alert because it's been not so long ago, but he dies for very good reasons, and now they bring him back, and I'm like, wouldn't that like destroy the purpose of his death, low key?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it would be confusing to like a younger audience who doesn't understand that it's like a different character, and they'll just
Right.
assume like, oh, Iron Man is the same as like the Doom
Exactly.
guy.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, wait, so didn't he die? Like, even yeah, and
He's a
Bad
villain
guy.
now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, it's like-
exactly. And then like you have Peter Parker, which I also
Yes,
just I saw like so many videos on Peter's relationship with Tony and how his death really affects Peter,
Yeah.
because like literally like the 2 movie after Homecoming was like him grieving Tony Stark. And then now they're gonna bring him back, and then I've seen memes of people saying how Peter gonna be like, Mr. Stark, is that you, to Doctor Doom? And he's like, I don't know who that is, and they just start fighting each other. So it's really crazy. But then I also heard during the filming of Doomsday there were feud between the actors. I don't know if you guys heard this.
I didn't know about this at all. No.
Yeah, so it's apparently like, because there's so many actors and actresses, right, for Doomsday, and it's across like multiple franchise. They're bringing back the X-Men. They're bringing in Fantastic Four with the main universe. They're bringing in Deadpool and Wolverine, and so apparently there was like feud between like 2 very big actors and everything like that on set. And I was just like, ooh. I mean, I'm not too into that, but it's just like really interesting because I don't think there was this problem back when they were filming Endgame, Infinity War, or Endgame. So
I heard something about there was like this older actor. I think it might be like Christopher Walken or something. I could be completely wrong, but there's like an older actor. Maybe who plays the Beast in X-Men?
I don't remember actually.
Kelsey Grammer, right? It might have been him or Christopher Walken or some old white dude who was complaining that like all of their acting is done on like a green screen, like in like a small room, and like everybody's is like that. So I just feel like there's not going to be any like cohesion between the actors in the movie.
That
I
is
feel like
also
there's not
true.
going to be any of the drama you get from 2 actors who are actually like with each other in real life, like talking to each other. It's just not going to have that. So I don't know. I don't have good expectations at all.
Yeah. Do you want it to add anything on top of that?
No.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like as I just want to talk briefly about Endgame and Infinity War, like just in the entirety of like the Infinity Saga. But because to me, that is what peak cinema is.
That was
I don't know if you guys were in that cinema when when Infinity War or Endgame was released, but I remember watching Infinity War with. First of all, it was really packed. I was 10 minutes late. I did not saw Loki's death. And so imagine my surprise when I got home and I was like, Loki died? I was like, I didn't even see him. And then it was so packed, and this was also like back in Vietnam, is a Vietnamese theater, and the ending came, like the snap, and everybody died, and everybody was just like, what? And I was just walking out of it completely disoriented, be like, that could not be the ending. And then with Endgame, my experience was kind of like, because my theater was like so quiet. Nobody even uttered a word. And then like I remember the moment when Cap healed the Mjolnir, like Thor's hammer. Yeah, I was like, but then nobody in my theater reacted. So I'm like, okay, well, you guys are boring. But yeah, I don't know what your guys like experience was watching that.
Yeah, no, I saw it in theaters. I saw both in theaters. Yeah, shout out to my dad.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and it was like totally different. Like in the theater, like it was packed. Everybody was very reactive. Like when Captain America got that hammer, like everybody was cheering. Everybody's like, oh, like that's so. And like when they pulled up. Like, I forgot what they pulled up for because I haven't seen this movie in a while. But when they pulled up, everybody was like, yeah, like this was good. This was good. Everybody was interactive, and I think that was like a really big time for like the Marvel fans. They really got what they wanted and what they needed out of that film. Like it was what it needed to be. And then after that, they kind of did fall off.
No, that's so real.
I feel like they wrote what seemed like the natural end of like the MCU kind of, And then to have to keep it going after that just kind of seemed like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. There wasn't a central purpose behind, because I don't think they really came up with like the multiverse stuff until they were writing Doctor Strange. So everything before Doctor Strange, like Shang-Chi or Wanda or Eternals, like it didn't contribute to that like central thing of like the multiverse. And even the stuff that was written after they came up with that idea for the next Avengers movie didn't really contribute anything meaningful to it. Like Ant-Man Quantum Mania. Do any of you guys remember that?
I haven't even watched that because I heard it was really bad.
They spend the whole movie hyping up Kang,
Oh, yeah,
Jonathan
yeah,
Majors,
yeah,
and then they use that movie to like write him out, because as they were writing the ending, he kind of went ahead and committed felonies. So they're like, well, we gotta have somebody else now. So Quantum Mania basically ends by saying, hey, the big bad that we were building up to the last couple villains is just dead.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. It seems really aimless for reasons that are both are and both are not the writer's fault. Is my opinion.
Yeah. Miranda, did you want to add anything for your screening experience?
No, I didn't watch them in theater.
Oh,
so,
real?
Yeah.
All
But
right. I never. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just. But did you watch Endgame and Infinity War and everything?
No, I tried.
Right.
And then I was like, I wanted to follow the timeline because this was like way after like it originally came out, and then I was like, oh, I feel like it's interesting, but maybe like I'll give it a try next time.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel bad because we low-key kind of talk a little bit about spoiler and stuff, but like I still highly recommend. I don't know where you're left off in the MCU, which movie you left off at.
Oh, like way in the beginning, like the Captain America.
Oh
movie.
no, but Captain America was so good though.
Yeah,
Captain
that
America
was
was
really
peak.
good. That one was
Captain
really
America,
good.
like, I don't know if you got to Winter Soldier or Civil War.
Both of them, yeah.
Oh, those were
where they
peak.
introduced Spider-Man too.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
Civil
peak.
War,
Those
Civil
are
War.
peak. Okay, I highly recommend just like because I really think like up until Endgame, everything before that was perfect.
Yeah.
Like there was no misses. I can tell people were like, well, a few of the Thor, a few of the Iron Man films are not that good, but like every single Captain America film, fire.
Yeah, that was really
like
good.
every Avenger film, fire. I don't understand the hate with Age of Ultron. Like I love that film.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot too. I've seen it a million times.
Right, yeah. So I would really highly recommend going back, especially with like they're gonna do a restart on all of the Marvel characters and everything. Just catching up on it would be really nice. And also like I think it's a great franchise to watch with families and friends.
Yeah.
Because a lot of films like I can't really watch with anybody else. So like my top one of all time, Parasite. I don't think I can watch it with friends or family, just because like it's so deep, it's so profound. Like if anybody says anything, that's gonna ruin my experience,
Yeah.
But with like Marvel film or like DC or any superhero film, you watch and you just have fun. Like there's no criticism, there's nothing bad you can say about it. But yeah, I think it's just great. And then what can we talk about with Marvel, because we can talk about multiverse, we can talk about the characters by
I have
itself.
a question.
Yeah.
So since you guys said that you really like the Endgame movies, how did you feel when in Loki they revealed the stones are their paperweights?
Oh, that was so funny. Like, I don't get why people were like mad. Like, it's like kind of like a bit. It's like a joke. So I thought it was funny. I laughed at that when they showed that.
No, on the side that I was on, people weren't mad. They were just like, that's actually insane because so many people died for that in that universe just for them to be like, oh, yeah, like something so meaningful, something that the whole plot was about was just like down to something that nobody.
It is really like funny and like a kind of like wow,
Like devastating way.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of drives a knife in your heart, but it's like it's pretty silly. But it kind of makes sense though, because it's like they see all the timelines. Like it kind of makes sense for them to have a big collection of those because they're probably in like the plot line of all the like variant universes that they get rid of. I really liked. I tell you what, the one like modern post Endgame project that I think did live up to expectations was What If. Because they do a lot of stories there about Infinity Stones and like other universes that I thought were really cool. Like with Ultron, getting to use Vision as like his body and then getting the Infinity Stones. I thought that was pretty cool.
Speaking on What If, I saw that. I don't know if you catch up on What If Zombies, the new series.
I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the What If series in so long, but I have seen a lot of clips on zombies, and I'm just gonna leave it at, like, there's a lot of plot holes that I don't really understand. But yeah, I mean, the concept of What If is really interesting, but then I saw a lot of people complain that they push Captain Carter too much, which is like, and which is also like, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about, like, feminist characters in Marvel, because I scrolled through this one video the other day, and he was like, that moment in Endgame where all of the women are standing together and fighting together. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that's actually so cool. Like, all of the powerful, like, baddies of Marvels are teaming up together. But then this guy on TikTok was like, this moment did not, like, Marvel did not deserve this moment because they waited like 21 movie to have their first female protagonist, which is Captain Marvel. And it was like, why did you guys wait so long to make a movie that has a female protagonist? Which I'm like, okay, wait, I didn't think about that. Because, when I grew up, when I think about superheroes, all I think about is like male characters.
Yeah.
Right. And so he was like, yeah, that moment did not deserve. And then obviously moments before, they off one of the most like prominent female characters off the universe. So it didn't really make sense. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I personally, when I first saw it, I was like, this is really cool. But then after sort of like thinking back about it, I was like, okay, well, you know what? There's some problems, like it's not perfect. I'm just glad that they have it, period. Yeah.
No, okay, yes, because I have so many things to say about this, actually. I might just monologue it right now. So, first of all, like, going back, I haven't seen the Loki series, like the TSA and everything, or whatever it's called. So I only know, like, a little bit about that. But the What If series, I did like. And I have seen the zombie episode of the original What If series, and I haven't seen the zombies movie. I liked it from what I saw. And then speaking of plot holes and everything, I feel like DC and Marvel are like neck to neck with what they do, because Marvel brings up zombies, DC has vampires. And you can kind of see like where they're trying to compete, but really like they're two totally different like playing fields that there's really no competition for. And then the feminist part. Okay, so first of all, let me preface this. I'm a woman, right?
Yes.
So I feel like everything controversial I'm about to say should be taken very, very with a grain of salt. Okay.
We're locked in.
Okay. The way that Marvel portrays women makes being a woman feel very cringy. Okay. And that's I feel like I don't know how to explain that. But it's because you're in a male-dominated field, right? The superheroes, the comic books, everything, it's like a very male-dominated field, and women have always had like a space with like She-Hulk or with Captain Marvel or with like all of these other things. But the way that Marvel portrays the women make it feel like it's just like quote unquote like a woke agenda that they're trying to push, instead of that they're women, that they're superheroes first, and then they just so happen to be women. And that's my thing, is with She-Hulk, a lot of guys that I've talked to don't like She-Hulk because they're like, oh, they're just trying to push the feminist agenda on us and like this and that. And it's already really hard being a woman with these area of interests, because there's not a lot of people or like things to like talk about. So you're just like surrounded by guys who have all these opinions, and it feels in its own way hard to kind of like break through that barrier. A woman that I did love in the Marvel universe that is portrayed to what I think is T is Yelena, which is if you guys don't know who that is, it's Black Widow's sister. So if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, go watch it. I won't give you no spoilers, but Yelena is one of the Thunderbolts. And you can see that she is an assassin. She is a superhero. She's like an imperfect being before like she's a woman. She just so happens to be a woman, you know?
Right.
So it's not like you're pushing that, oh, she's such a girl boss, she's such this and this. No, she just happens to be a woman. And I feel like that's something that they need to see and that they need to normalize, is that, like, I just so happen to be a woman. Like, there's scientists out there, there's people in male-dominated fields, and they just so happen to be women. It's not that they're women that they deserve these spots. It's that they're very smart and they earned it. They just so happen to be women. Thank you.
That was fantastic. That
I
was
couldn't agree
fantastic.
more.
Yeah, that
And-
was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is coming from a loudmouth mansplainer over here, but like, I completely agree, and I think that another character that they did well in that regard is Kate Bishop from Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yes.
They did a really good job with her, and also from WandaVision, Monica or Spectre.
Oh, Monica. Yeah.
They did a good job with her. I think in WandaVision they did a better job with her, and then in the Marvels they kind of like girl bossed her a little bit, but I also didn't see all of the Marvels. I saw like some of it. But I very much agree.
Yeah, and I love everything that you just said. I think it's so hard to find a well-written character,
Yes.
like a female character in any sort of like superhero movie, because I think we also talk about a little bit about Injustice, which is during our what is it called, retreat, like earlier, about how Wonder Woman in Injustice League was sort of like just really watered down to this woman who just like is so desperate for Superman.
Yeah.
And I get so annoyed at that, and I was like, yeah, do you want to add about that? Yes,
Yeah.
please.
One thing that bothers me about like superhero shows or like TV shows is how they make the woman need the man or like
Yes.
want her to want him. Like no, like
Let
let it go.
Yes. Why are you dropping her? No.
And then it like sucks because then it pushes the stereotype that women need men in their lives. I don't know, like
Yeah.
it's so, like,
Exactly.
especially if like you're young and like a little kid and you're like always like, oh wait, she needs him. Does that mean I need a man when I grow up?
Exactly.
I don't know. It
And-
just sucks.
Exactly, because and also we're talking about like supposedly female superheroes, right?
Yeah.
And these women are so strong physically,
Yes.
but then mentally they still need a man. So what are you guys trying to tell us, that no
Yeah.
matter how strong and no matter how independent we get, we still need a guy, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. And on top of that, like I also want to get back into, because you mentioned Yelena, I want to get back into like Black Widow, because first of all, she's one of my favorite in Marvel Universe of all time, because she is standing beside gods, beside like
Yes.
super serum soldiers, beside freaking like mutated people, and she's like holding her guns and be like, yep,
Yeah.
like she's so badass, and I love that. But then I keep remembering how like earlier on, first of all, she's like the only female Avengers, right? At first,
Yeah.
her suit sexualized, cleavage shown, practicality none, and I was like, like why is it there? And then like her love line with Bruce Banner didn't make sense, because
Yeah.
why is that
Oh
a thing?
my god, that was so cheesy.
Yeah.
Hey, big guy, sun's getting real low. Shut. Like no one, no one's here for that.
It doesn't make sense. And
Yep.
then when we finally get her solo movie, which we waited so long for, it sucks.
Yeah.
I hated it.
That was rough. You could tell it was made like by people at home, because the CGI was like, this was rendered on somebody's laptop.
Right.
Like that was not rendered on the same computer, the CGI for Endgame or Infinity War. I just feel like Disney didn't put a lot of effort into it. They were
No.
like, oh, I guess we're making a Black Widow movie.
Exactly.
Like she deserves more.
She deserves so much more. And like, okay, I understand that the movie did dive into like some part of her past, but it's just like, we waited so long, you need to give us something more substance.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand that the Red Room was a very big part of her character, like the man that was in charge of it, her number one biggest enemy, right? But then like it just feels like a very like simple, like normal revenge movie that didn't have any like depth to it.
Yeah.
Because we know throughout the film that she feels so guilty about the stuff that she did. She just basically like want to live normally and everything. But then I also like in the comics, people say that she is not regretful at all, and I think that would have been so like interesting to see in the MCU, because we don't have a lot of female characters that are like being like, yeah, I did that even though I don't want to, but like I'm not regretting it. You know, we always have characters that are so regretful of what they've done, and I understand how like that could add more depth, but it doesn't necessarily add more character to them or like add more personality to them. Or on the other side, we have Wanda, right? That is, like, I think Thomas mentioned how in the end of WandaVision, she was like, being very regretful. She sort of like went back, but then like
her whole
it-
character arc, they throw it away in Doctor Strange. I
exactly.
feel
So like it doesn't really make sense to me. So you have all of these wonderful and powerful female characters. You gave them absolutely no depth. You like, like why did Wanda all of a sudden be like, well, actually, I'm gonna release everybody of Westview, but at the same time, I still want my kids, so I'm gonna like kill people for it. So I'm like, that doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, do you guys want to add? Because I feel like this is a really great topic to talk about. Yes.
Okay, so I haven't seen the Black Widow movie, but I do agree with everything that you're saying. The hypersexualization of women as superheroes also is a whole different conversation. But I think we need a lot more morally gray superheroes in the MCU, because we see them in DC Universe. We see Batman and Joker. Like, we see that they always have like this like really toxic relationship, but Batman can never let go of the Joker, right? And then we also have this whole moral situation of superheroes killing other like their villains and everything. And that's why I think you guys should watch Thunderbolts. And I will like, okay,
I'm gonna watch it.
you
like,
guys
soon.
need to,
Yes.
because they are all morally gray superheroes, quote unquote superheroes, and that's why I really like Yelena, is because yes, they do say that she regrets what she had done in like the assassin's training that she took when she was little in like the Red Room and everything, but her character now, she just doesn't care about anything. Like, she's just looking for some like fulfillment in life, and she doesn't like, she's like, yes, she did those bad things, exactly like you said. They're giving her what they didn't give Black Widow at the
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, and so that's why I
Which, touching upon that, I feel like that's kind of unfair.
yeah,
Because you have Natasha Romanoff, like the OG Black Widow, and they could have done so much things with her, right? They have, like, she is an amazing character in the comics, and then all of a sudden, now that she died, they give all of that arcs to her sister.
yeah.
Which I think, I'm not saying that Yelena does not deserve that, but it's just like, why didn't you do that with the characters you already have? And now that you don't have them anymore, you sort of like find somebody else to like fill their shoe that they're supposed to like wear in the first place. I was gonna talk something else about something, but then I kind of forgot. Yeah. Does anybody want to fill time when I remember what? Yeah.
I wonder if they gave the sister the storyline. Like, I didn't watch anything, right? But I'm like thinking, I wonder if they gave the sister her arc, hoping to draw in a different audience. Because what if like, Black Widow was just not too well written, but like, so she already had her audience. So then if you like change her character, you give her an arc, people would be like, what the heck? And then accuse Marvel of being like too woke or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
like,
going
that
through my
makes sense.
head.
No,
I
know what
think
you mean.
I think that could definitely be a possibility. And also I was gonna wait. What was I gonna say? I feel like that could be it. And also with the restart, I just hope that if they are going to write another Natasha Romanoff, they actually do her justice this time. And I was also sorry, you were saying?
I was gonna say, like, this whole like restart thing. I don't know if I've heard about this. So are they planning on just full on rebooting the MCU?
I think so. Yeah, I've heard a lot of like rumors, and I don't know if it's confirmed, but it's been going around, and I don't think they've been denying it also.
Huh.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be the same thing with like the DC and how they keep rebooting the the Superman and like the Batman and everything. They keep,
Right.
you have Zack Snyder version, and now you have James Gunn's version
the Gunn
and everything like that. So I think they're gonna do this kind of like something similar. But I remember what I was gonna talk about earlier. So I don't know if you guys watch Ballerina, which is like in the same universe as John Wick. Oh, I highly recommend John Wick. It's so good. It's like the fighting scene is probably one of the best. Like, I love that action franchise so much. I highly recommend. But basically, in short, Ballerina is like a spin-off of John Wick, and it's okay. Here, listen to this. She is a assassin that is also taught in a ballerina school, and with like a filled with female assassin. What does that sound familiar to? The Red Room. And then, she's a very skilled assassin, and she's on the revenge path for people who kill her parents. Who does that sound similar to? Black Widow.
Right.
And then I was just, while watching it, I was like, this is really enjoyable, and like all the fighting scenes are so good. She's actually really interesting. Why couldn't they have done that to, Natasha Romanoff? And I was like, and she's like, she was never mentioned in any of the John Wick film, right? She's like a first time showing character. And then you have Black Widow, who is just like been there from the start, and you can't give her anything of substance. Even like in Endgame, like the way that they like grieve her was like just like so brief, you know? Like they didn't. It's just crazy to me.
I feel like if the Black Widow like movie had come out like a lot earlier, it
Exactly.
would be more meaningful.
Exactly.
Because the fact that they chose to only give her like that level of backstory after she died, after they wrote her off, is just, it doesn't make sense to me.
It feels very last minute.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Especially because I just feel like the decision to kill her was so dumb, because I feel like she didn't really have any real character arc before she died.
Exactly.
Like, when I was a kid, when I was like 10, 12, like watching like the, Age of Ultron and Winter Soldier and like that like era, like I was wondering, like I want to know more about her. Why don't they make a Black Widow movie? And I literally thought that like a lot, dozens of times. Maybe not. Well, yeah, I think I thought that a while. Every time I watched like a Winter Soldier or like Age of Ultron or something like that, I was like, she needs like a solo thing. And then they kill her off, and then they do it. It's just frustrating.
Which is really crazy because every character around her is so well written.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes is incredibly well written.
Yeah.
He is like I think in Thunderbolt. I haven't seen it, but I think he's also like
he's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I heard that he's incredible in it. And then even like the Red Guardian, which is like her father figure,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like everybody around her is getting like these amazing arcs,
Mm-hmm.
while herself is just like getting nothing, like no flowers, nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really ridiculous. I just hope that if they do decide to do a reboot, they give her flowers. That's all I want, because she's my favorite. She's literally just a human, like in the Marvel universe, like only guns and like hands, nothing else, like
Yeah.
no superpowers, no like magical powers, nothing. But yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want-
I think, like Thomas said, like she was basically the only, like not the only, but one of the only mainstream, like physical, like mainstream media females that we got at when I was little. I kept on thinking like they should make her a movie. They should make her a movie. And then when she died, we got it. But I also think, like Mariana was saying, like she was already so established and she already did have her fan base, that I believe that probably is why they didn't give. Was that me?
I have no idea.
That was so odd. Anyways, but that she was already like established that they couldn't really add much onto her. But
Yeah.
everybody did get such a good storyline.
Exactly.
Like, it's so good.
Because if you write somebody well from the start, you wouldn't have to worry about, writing them after they die. Like, it doesn't work like that. Which is, yeah, I could talk about this forever. But then I also really want to talk about Doomsday itself, because we have so many, like, characters that are gonna be on screen. So we're gonna have the OG X-Men, because I'm so surprised they actually have the OG X-Men, which is, what's James... something Den? I forgot his name. But like Sonic's dad.
Sonic's dad.
Marsden?
Yes, James Marsden. Yeah, he's like the OG Cyclops.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
he was casted. And then the OG Beast, the OG actor that
that.
plays
Kelsey
yeah.
Grammer,
Yeah, and then also the OG Mystique. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's awesome. I forgot her name though.
I forgot her name too, but obviously, like, I don't know if like the other Jen is
Wait,
gonna be.
Jennifer Lawrence wasn't the OG.
Yeah.
Was it?
No,
No.
Jennifer Lawrence was after.
After. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Jennifer Lawrence and everybody else is gonna be in it. I don't know, because like it's again multiverse. But I think one of my issue with Doomsday, even though it's not even out yet, is that we don't have any information on Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Because with Thanos and Infinity Saga, they tease it way back in the first Avenger.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
back, and like the build up was so good, and we were like, okay, who's this big bad Thanos? And then with because Thomas also said that because they build up Kang so much,
Yeah.
we were expecting Kang for the final big battle, but then now it's like a completely different direction with Victor Von Doom. We don't have any information on that guy.
Yeah, I think that's why they tried to pull in Fantastic Four as fast as they did, and
Yeah.
like how they're doing it now. Because yeah, no spoilers on that. Fantastic Four was not my favorite movie.
Mm.
But I think they brought in Doom aside from Kang and everything because they wanted to bring in Fantastic Four. That's just what I think. I think because he's like their main villain, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah, so it's just like it's very bizarre to me, and also like they cram a lot of actors and actresses in it. And I was texting my friend the other day. I was like, either this is gonna be a really good movie or a really bad movie because there's way too many characters in it. But the other thing is with Endgame, like you have so many characters, but all of them were like allocated so perfectly, you know. Like everybody got their screen time. Like everybody had a purpose. I don't know for sure if it's gonna be the same because I mean it's the Russo brothers. They're fantastic. What they did with Infinity War and Endgame was insane. But yeah, I don't know if you guys want to add anything more to that. But Thomas, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I just kind of phased out because someone just sent me something with the National Guard.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, that's not good. But what is it? This is a completely different tangent, but I kind of wanted to think about like someone should do like a examination of like how to write like a good like morally gray character in like superhero versus like a bad morally gray character. Because Izzy, when you talking about earlier with Yelena being a morally gray character is like super like I still need to see Thunderbolts, but from what I saw in Black Widow and Hawkeye, you're very like right and like talking about like her character, and I feel like they tried to make Scarlet Witch like a morally gray character, and it just didn't work the same way.
Yeah.
So I just want to like I don't know. I want to think about like what's like different between like the arcs of those two like characters.
I think the thing with Scarlet Witch is that I do feel like they changed her arc in the middle because she started off her debut in Age of Ultron and they were like, oh yeah, she was experimented on. That's why she got her powers. But then all of a sudden in WandaVision, they were like, oh, actually, they didn't experiment on her. She already have the powers. It just enhanced it. And I was like, I don't know. Like, that sounds really like, you know, it doesn't... Like, we get that she's super powerful in the comics. She quite literally, in one of the comics, she was the reason why, like, mutants do not exist anymore. Oh, bless you. Like, bless you.
Thank you. Oh, God.
So I do feel like they kind of didn't really know what to do with her character just because of how powerful she is in the comic book. And they were at that point in time in the Marvel Universe where, in the MCU, where Avengers were still fighting, not street level, but sort of like not multiverse sort of like level threat. It's just like, you know, Loki in New York and like Ultron in also like not in New York, but like in another nation. So they really didn't really know how to introduce her because the concept of multiverse was not introduced because she's a multiverse being, right? Like they call it a nexus being. She exists in every single multiverse or something. I don't, or like one version of her in every. I don't remember, but I do realize that they introduced the concept of multiverse really, really late into the MCU.
I also think they need to bring back Quicksilver. Like
they
killed him off too fast.
They should bring back the like X-Men like future past version of Quicksilver because that I don't remember the name of the actor. It's like Peter something. He's
Evan
just
Peters.
Evan Peters,
he's so awesome. Like
he's great.
Hilarious. Yeah, they need to bring back. I hope when they bring back the X-Men to Doomsday, they get him with because that would be awesome. Yeah. Because the MCU Quicksilver is kind of a fraud when we say it for real.
Because why did he get killed so easily, bro? I was like, that's crazy.
His death is so dumb too.
It is like
his crappy little one-liner where he's like, "I guess I wasn't fast enough," and it's like, what? Like.
Could have literally just picked Hawkeye and the kid like out of the bullet. Like hello, like. Bro, it does not make sense.
I will say, I don't think I'm gonna say something controversial. I think until the Hawkeye like TV show, he was kind of terribly written.
Yeah.
You're not the first person to say that. I have heard so many bad things about Hawkeye actually, and I was like, interestingly enough, like I thought he was cool, but I also think he's just there until they had his own series, until he had his own side series. But he was just there.
And his whole like arc where he's like, my wife and kids got zapped away. Now I'm killing people in Japan, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like it feels a little forced. Like, yeah, basically everybody lost their family. Like, you're not special.
Exactly. That I do agree because it did feel like kind of out of nowhere for me. Because I remember during the first Avenger, he was kind of like mind controlled by Loki, and then he started, not killing people, but start going quote unquote bad. But it's like he was under control. We didn't get any of him like compared to Natasha. We know that she has a dark past, right? Like with the red room and everything. But with like Hawkeye, what's his real name again? I forgot.
Clint
Clint Barton.
Yeah.
Right?
The real guy's name is I forgot the name of the actual actor, but
Jeremy Renner.
right.
Do you guys know he has his own app?
There's
There's there's an search it up. There's an app called Jeremy Renner where people talk about only Jeremy Renner. Yeah, it's crazy. I wonder what they talk about up there.
Like a lawnmower accident or something, didn't he? I remember that because it was when that show, the Hawkeye show, had just come out, and then he had this terrible accident.
Oh,
But he's
yeah.
fine now.
Yeah, but that was scary. Like we all thought that he could never be on screen again, but that's just But what was I saying? Oh, compared to Black Widow, Hawkeye we didn't know much about his past. So all of a sudden when he went rogue and start killing mafia people in freaking Tokyo, I was like, right, yeah, no, totally. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I mean, I'm very excited for Spider-Man though. I do say that.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited for Spider-Man. Have you guys seen the animation Spider-Man?
Yes.
Into the Spider-Verse. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
It into the Spider-Verse and then Across the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
I need the third part to be out yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the last Marvel films that I watched in theater, and it blew my mind. The animation scale, everything about it is just so beautiful. Miles Morales, I need him to be introduced into the MCU.
No, yeah, I feel like they could definitely do so many things with Miles Morales in the live action, especially in now that they have the multiverses and everything.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first Into the Spider-Verse, and I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse. But I will say I have two favorite Spider-Mans, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Aside from actors and everything, Spider-Noir and Spider-Punk are my favorite. And I know that Spider-Punk became really big after Across the Spider-Verse and everything. And isn't he supposed to get his own movie too, but they postponed that?
I know that Noir was supposed to get a movie. I think it was a live action movie with Nicolas Cage.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but they didn't. But
They promised us a lot of things.
yeah.
I think he might still be getting a show. Don't quote me on that, but I think that might still be being worked on. But Sony is literally I don't know if you've ever seen a meme where it's potential man, where it's just somebody who just has potential but never actually does anything with it.
Yeah.
That's Sony with Spider-Man. Because what do you mean you have plans for all these crazy things like a Tom Hardy Venom, Tom Holland Spider-Man crossover? You have all these plans, and the best thing you can give us is Kraven the Hunter,
I was gonna say that.
or Madam Web.
Right.
Come on.
Okay. Did you guys see Madam Web?
I did see Madam Web.
I have not.
It was a little bit of the forced feminism that I was talking about earlier. Just a little bit, but it wasn't as bad. It was good. I just think the actors were not really good at acting.
I have a different opinion, which I'm not. This isn't I'm not gonna be oh, the woke or whatever. It's not that. I'm saying that just the writing of the plot and how much holes it had was so dumb, and then the acting was so bad that it's to me, it's, I think, the first so bad it's good superhero movie.
Yes.
I enjoy Madam Web because it's so bad.
It was It was a trashy superhero film, and I did like it, and it wasn't as bad. I just think that it was really poorly written, and the actors were really bad at acting. Mariana looked like she had something to say. You were like, oh.
Oh no, I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of wondering because you guys started talking about Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Right? I wonder if Miles Morales is gonna make an appearance in the Doomsday movie because they're kind of hyping him up. But then I don't know how it works because I don't know.
I mean, hopefully. I don't know. I mean, it's multiverse, right? Anything could happen. But then the thing about Miles Morales is that he's so cool, but his voice actor is kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that? Yeah, I did not know all of that, but I've seen like TikToks resurface about that again, and I'm like, you know, like how hard does it be to become a voice actor? But I just really hope to see him on the big screen. Such a great character, honestly. Like Miles Morales, so cool. And then his entire I'm not gonna spoil anything because you need to watch across. But his entire arc, I think he is also kind of tiptoeing in that morally gray character, just a little bit.
Direction, yeah.
Because I don't want to go into detail, but it's really great. I think Spider-Man in general is such a well-written character, no matter who is under the mask.
Yeah.
Whoever is like wearing that mask, Spider-Man automatically super well written because like, what do you mean? This like 16-year-old kid lost everybody in his family, got super strong, and still become like a incredibly kind-hearted and just like nice person. Yeah. Not a lot of people can like stay sane after losing their entire family and all of that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys watched One Piece? Are there any One Piece fan? Okay, Kuma. His backstory, I feel like, reminds me a lot of like the Spider-Man like origin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm barely on like episode 600.
Oh my god.
There's 1,000 actually. There's over 1,000.
1,100. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not like towards Kuma's backstory, but I just like I'm right off post time skip.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm entering the time skip, but I've also been spoiled for everything.
Yeah, 100%.
So I know Kuma's backstory because it's in like one of the more recent like animated episodes. So I've seen all these clips from it on Instagram and stuff, and it's tragic. Like you might like cry. Like I almost cried. Like it was rough. But it's funny though because his backstory is so tragic, and then when you see him in like the time skip arc, you're like, oh Kuma, I hate that guy, and it's like later you're like, oh. It's tragic, but so that's the point. I did want to talk about though how Spider-Gwen in Spider-Verse is such a well-written character too. I really liked her arc with like her dad and like killing like her universe's like Peter because he's like a monster or whatever. That was really cool. That was really, really cool too. Yeah, I love that. What was it? I don't know. I just really like to see because last episode I talk about the indomitable human spirit in cinema, which is like just seeing how insane and incredible like humanity is portrayed when in like faced with like quite literally like global threat and like aliens and all that stuff, and we're still like, no, actually we're gonna band together and protect Earth, even though we low-key kind of hate each other. Like it's just so insane to me because like like I talked about that scene with in Endgame where Cap was standing alone with Thanos' army, and it looked like a painting, and he was there standing alone, and I was like, that is so powerful because this man quite genuinely believed that he's the last hope of humanity in face of like Thanos and his army, and he was like the last line of defense, but he's still standing there, which is like the same with like quite literally any Marvel character where we just talk about Peter Parker, like that kid is like so strong like in any way possible because what do you mean like I said 16-year-old and still like so like noble and like humble and all of that. Like I just think that such a great role model, right? And then I also saw a video the other day about how like just the saying of like anybody could wear the mask, that alone is like so powerful because like we were also talking about like Marina, you were just talking about like how feminism in film could really affect children's like way of thinking. I think like saying stuff like anybody could wear the mask, that gave so many children like hope that they could become like something greater. Especially no matter your gender, no matter your orientation, no matter like what you do for work, no, it doesn't matter. Like anybody, like I don't know, I'm just ranting here, but like it's just so powerful to me. Yeah.
I think that's why I really like the Spider-Man one with Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Because like especially when you see all the different types of Spider-Mans, it's like whoa.
Exactly, and then it's incredible. Like you, and then have you seen Across the Spider-Verse? Yeah, and then Across the Spider-Verse, you have like, this is not gonna be a spoiler, but you see like a plus size Spider-Man, which is like who would have thought? Like some people that has like a slightly.
Why are you looking at me when you're talking about this?
No, what? I did. Okay, that
No,
was
I'm just screwing with you.
okay. That made me look really mean. I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. I'm joking.
Because I looked around the room anyway. But it's just really, really interesting. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have any last words or just last things to talk about.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll be really fast because I was accumulating my thoughts. Okay, so The Amazing Spider-Man, the series and not the thing,
Yeah,
so good.
it's so good.
But it made me hate the Ghost Spider because she was kind of obnoxious in that sense. Oh my gosh, wait, I was gonna say something before. I was gonna say, I do think that they're gonna bring Miles Morales to the MCU in live action. Because they're bringing like their Young Justice kind of thing, like America Chavez and all of them. They're bringing them, so he's definitely gonna see the screen. Maybe not anytime soon, but definitely soon.
Period. That's so exciting.
Oh my god, what else? Okay, somebody talk, and I'll
Captain America was really good.
Captain America was dope.
Yeah,
Cap- Captain America, like every single film was 10 out of 10.
Yes. Okay, and I Miss Marvel, Miss Marvel, the series that they had on her. She's the stretchy one, right? That's Miss Marvel. Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, she's
Yeah.
my favorite. She's one of my favorite like female superheroes that was at the time. I didn't like her show that much, because I'd read her comics like back in 4th grade.
They screwed with her powers.
Yes, they screwed with her powers, kind of how she got them, but also a lot of her family drama, which I feel like should have been talked more about, that added to her character. Should have seen the light of day, but it didn't in that series.
And also, like, touching upon, like, the superpower thing, I think a lot of the characters in MCU were screwed over, and they were, like, significantly nerfed.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it's just, like, a lot of the, like, you know, like, what do you mean Thor was not as powerful as he is in the comic? He's a quite literal god.
And then he just gets fat and starts playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right, like, what? Like, girl, what? And then he was, like, sort of, like, this comedic, effect in Endgame, and I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, they mess with a lot of people's powers in Avengers. Well, not Avengers, just like MCU in general. Yeah, did you want to add anything out?
Oh yeah, Miss Marvel and Spider-Man are actually friends.
Oh yeah.
In both the MCU and in the comics, and I think they should bring that to light.
I even saw like an interview of I forgot Miss Marvel's actress name, but she was even talking to Tom Holland and everything too, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Oh, I was gonna mention, like, can you imagine the team up of her and Mr. Fantastic, because they're both stretchy?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That'd be so funny, because like that would be amazing. But yeah, does anybody have any last closing thought on Marvel?
We need a Miss Marvel versus Mr. Fantastic versus Luffy, like, battle
Oh, yeah.
royale. That would be great.
That would be multiverse on multiverse. Yeah. Can you imagine like just adding anime into like superhero movies? That would go insane.
Imagine in Doomsday they get like the live action One Piece Luffy to come in, and
Yeah.
just imagine, it'd be awesome.
Freaking throwing Gojo in there, throwing Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I don't know, just like anybody, bro.
Get JoJo in there, man. Just like everything.
Yeah, no, it's great. But yeah, I mean, if nobody have anything else to add, then I'm gonna close the episode. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a great episode. I had so much fun. You guys are welcome to join anytime. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.